coach in the comic.
Can you feel it?
I had to hurry up and write this song like I right my wrongs. Too many people acting like they don't know right from wrong.
Life is coming, 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 coming for you. Life is coming, coming. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Welcome to the Coach and the man. When you get the serious, and of course you get the funny. I am C. Reggie Rogers, also known as the Coach, and I got my man, my mellow Buddy Lewis, who is also known as the
That's right.
Comic.
What's going on, man?
Buddy, what's up, man? What's happening?
Hey, man, listen, man. I am just trying to make these ends meet as they run parallel lines, bruh.
Well, it looks like you're doing an amazing job as you always do. You know how to
Hey,
do
man,
it. You make it do what it do, buddy.
I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. I'm gonna make it do what it do.
Listen, you sound like Goldie. That's who you sound
Yeah,
like, Goldie.
baby. Yeah, Goldie man. Hey, Goldie man. Goldie man.
Hey, listen, I was watching an excerpt from that the other day, and Pretty Tony told Goldie, "Man, you ain't nothing but a rest haven for these." He told him he was a rest haven.
Rest haven for hoes. Yeah, they had some classic pimp.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
That movie was hilarious. The Mac,
So-
all of them, all those movies.
Man, great movies back then. Listen, man, we got a great show today. We got a special
know.
guest, actually, special guest. You know, we've been
Okay.
taping today, and so today was our tape day, and we've had some great shows all day today. So we're not going to let our audience down. But we got a special guest today, and so today, you know, I wanted to do something different because I wanted to talk about one of the things that I went on and I talked a lot about after the pandemic on all the talk shows that I did, all the radio shows that I did. I mean, I was doing tons at that time. And so one of the things I kept talking about, people wanted to know, what did we have or what did the pandemic show us? I said it showed us whether we had a partner, whether we had a problem, or whether we had a project. And I think that when we were home, that's what we got. And even some people discovered they had a parasite. So those were my P's, you know. So it did show us a lot. And one of the guys that stood out during the pandemic was a close friend of mine. You know, he ran for mayor here in Las Vegas. He ran for the mayor of North Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so he keeps a very busy life. And so I wanted to bring him on. And I wanted to talk to him about how does he do it with he's a business owner, he's an entrepreneur, he ran for mayor. And with all the things that he has going on, I want to know, you know, I'm sure the pandemic showed him what a partner really was. For others, it showed what a problem really was. And for others, it showed what a project they had. And for others, they really just discovered, I got a parasite. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to him about, buddy. And so I think today we'll be able to discuss that with him. And so let's talk about that, buddy. You know, problems. When I say the word problem to you, what comes to your mind?
What do you mean problems? Hey, man, I got all fiscal, sexual. What kind of problems you talking about, Reg?
Yeah, all those. That's what we discovered. You know, when I say project, what comes to your mind? What's a project to you?
Hey, man, listen. When you got projects, that means you got things. They got things you can work on, things they need to work on. But sometimes you don't have time to give that energy. You get what I'm saying? You don't have time for it. You know. So I know some projects. I know some people that got projects, and let me tell you, when you lived in the projects, it was rough. When you lived in the projects, it was rough.
That's when you lived in the physical part. But some people discovered that they had a project that slept next to them every night. They woke up next to. They realized that they had a project. They realized they had a problem. And then even further, some realized that they even had a parasite. They were just
hey, man, listen, ain't nothing worse than
eating away.
Ain't nothing worse than waking up thinking you got, you know, you a project and you got to work on it every day. Oh, that's ooh, no, sometimes that's just debilitating to your spirit.
So, you know, so, and then others found they had a partner. So that's what I want to talk to our guests about. I love the camaraderie, the companionship that he and his partner have. You know, she was supportive when he ran for mayor. So we're going to bring out our guest, and we're going to talk to none other than Brother Nathan Atkins. What's happening, man?
What's going on, Brother
How
Nathan?
you doing, man? Good to see you.
So, when you ran for mayor, I'm sure that took a lot away from you and your household. So how did that work for you and your wife as you geared up to run for mayor?
Well, it was challenging. The biggest thing I'd say is communication is key, right? Because that's what everybody says. Oh, communication. You got to communicate. Listen, when you're in the middle of getting stuff done, I don't know anybody who knows how to communicate exactly 100%. We had our ups, we had our downs, we had a few bumps. What I will say is we do a really good job of knowing how to get back to what we call center, right?
Yeah.
Your jaws get a little tight, my jaws get a little tight. Instead of letting them get too tight, we realize we need to get back to center as quick as possible and figure out what it is we're trying to do, right? And what we're either doing and not doing, and get real honest about that, and never forget the biggest thing, right? We are each other's friend first and foremost. We are working on a common focus and a common goal. Sometimes when you get a little tight, you forget that real quick. You say some stuff that ain't so easy to pull back. So it was interesting because we both work from home, so we both had jobs. I had said, babe, we're going to start a business. I'd started a business once before. We sold out that franchise. We were both in corporate for a while. And I said, look, it's time to get back, right? So she was like, it is. So we talked through it. She said, okay. Then the thing for mayor came up and she was like, ooh, that's too much.
Let me stop you right there for a second, Nathan. When you first brought that up, I want to know what was the tone, like, what was the energy? I'm sure it was an energy shifter. I'm sure all the energy shifted. And what was the first thing that she said to you when you said, babe, I think I'm considering running for mayor?
So let me be real about how I brought it home. When the gentleman asked me to run for mayor, I said, here's what's going on. I got a job. I'm getting ready to start a business. And I've already taxed my wife not once, but twice, right? Because my job, we literally, during COVID, sat side by side. And we were both in sales, both talking to our teams, both on the phone, talking to clients. We had to kind of quid pro quo, like, well, when is your client meeting? Because my client meeting is, sometimes I'd have to walk to the bathroom and take mine in the other room. She'd have to do the same, right? So I said, I've already taxed her not once, but twice. I'm going to be straightforward and clear. It is her yes or no. If she says no, I am not going to debate it. I'm not going to fight it. It's no. And we're going to focus on working the business. And so then I brought it home. And you know how it is. We want to get what we want to get. And it took the energy out immediately. She immediately was like, another thing? You can see it just kind of sink back in the chair, right? I said, well, let me be clear, right? I told them, baby. I told them, if you say no, it's no. And I ain't going to question you. It's all your decision. Well,
That's that trickeration. You hear that trickeration?
Yeah. Listen, he backed her against the corner. She knew that she wasn't going. She knew at this point.
Listen, I'm just a loving, compassionate partner who wanted to respect his partner. Trickeration. But she too smart to be tricked anyway. She saw that a mile away and was like, I don't want to hear that. What I'm concerned about, though, is you got this on your plate, that on your plate. Another thing on your plate is significant is that first thing she said, I'm worried about you. I'm worried you're going to burn out. That it's going to be too much. And I said, well, don't worry about that because I've already proven to you that I'm crazy as hell. So you can't put enough on my plate and you can't burn me out. So we'll be safe there. What I'm more worried about, though, is you have to get on board with this. You're going to have to show up to some stuff. You're going to have to do some stuff. It had a few little wrinkles to it, right? We were different parties. So she had to smile and grin a lot on some stuff. But in true fashion, right? Even when it got tough, the biggest focus I'll say, man, is what I said earlier. Get back to center, right? We don't do it perfectly, right? But at a reasonable point, we always know we need to get back to center, right? And that's you think about it like this, right? You pop it into neutral and you let the engines kind of cool down, and then you figure out how to restart something back up. Because if not, what I find, especially with my type of personality and hers too, right, is it's shot counter shot, right? So it's just gonna keep going one by one by one by one by one. If somebody doesn't hit the brakes, right, you're gonna blow that whole thing up. And you said it accurately, right? I have a very good partner, extremely supportive partner. When we got into the business, months into the business, right, the job went away, so I focused solely on the business. She covered all the load. Right?
So
And then
so let's go back to something that you said, and I want to get Buddy's take on this because I saw Buddy light up when you said that. You guys are two different parties.
yes.
So here you were running as a candidate in one party, and yet she's another party. How did because what they say is unequally yoked, that would be considered to some degree unequally yoked to some degree. Or they say you can't mix night with day, that would be considered mixing night with day. And then they also say, if you don't want to stir up the nest, don't talk politics, especially when you got two people that are coming from two different parties. How did you work that?
So we come from the same place, spiritually, mentally. We come at it from different angles.
Okay.
Not that I'm not a compassionate, but she's significantly more compassionate. I'm significantly more. Does it add up in the columns, right? If the columns add up, then that makes sense, and when that makes sense, we can do some of the more compassionate things. Versus compassion needs to happen whether the columns add up or not. That's more her focus, right? She knows the columns need to add up, but that's not going to be the priority. The priority is always going to be humanity, people first. I love humanity. I'm all about humanity, but you also got to know the columns got to add up, or we'll be all out here human together in this cardboard box. That puts a lot of test on that humanity, right?
So Buddy, I'm curious, what party do you think he was with, Buddy? Because based off of his conversation, what do you think, Buddy?
The Green Party. He got all that money to start businesses and all kind of crazy stuff. And it had to be the Green Money Party. He part of the hip hop party. That's what he tell a woman, you come home and listen, man, that Barack Obama, yeah, baby, I'm coming home. I'm gonna be a community organizer. Man, some women don't want to hear all that. They want to be like, organize this house. That's what you do. You want to politic in their front yard and get the leaves and stuff. Politic the dog for a walk. How about that? So I you know what? It's interesting when we jump into the politics, man, because there's always, everybody, I believe when Chris Rock said this, everybody's a little of something. We're not all one thing. We're not all Republican, conservative, and we're not all liberal, Democrat. There's a little bit of both sides in everybody, and you got to find where you find, because you'll find that most people kind of fall in the center. Most people kind of fall somewhere just a little bit center, this a little bit. But I think in this country right now, I think we're off the rails on it's either my way or nothing, or it's this way or it's nothing, and there's no real compromise, man, because people have to get elected. And so, the only way you can get people elected is by saying what you think these people are going to elect you to do. And so we've gone to the extremes on both ends. But, being from Chicago, very politically of a political town, I'm probably saying he's probably the opposite though. Nathan's probably because he's in the army. Army men, policemen, they all it's black or white for them, man. It's like, hey, it is or it ain't. And he said that. He said, man, it's got to add up. Yeah, because I know. Look, there's no There's no nuance. Hey man, you either broke the law or you didn't.
There's no in between, nothing in
Ain't
the
no in
middle. For us.
between. So but I mean, you know what? That can sometimes work out. I think I've always joked about this. I say when you find most women actually have leaned, and I say democratic because it's the humanitarian thing in them. They nice, they soft. When you find Republican women, they be I'll cut your face off. They be evil, like, damn, you was about a evil ass. They got a little evil streak. But I would say Steve's probably right. Nathan, you probably a little lightweight. You're probably a little lightweight Republican. I know it.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
See, I can tell. I
Yeah.
know.
Buddy called that Nathan. Buddy called that one. So
because I read the room, Reggie. I keep
it,
trying
buddy.
to tell you, man, as a
That's
comic,
why
I gotta
opened the
read
floor
room.
for you. That's exactly why I opened the floor for you. I wanted you to read the room, buddy.
And when he said his wife was humanitarian. He trying to be nice. He trying to say his wife's soft and kind and she, cuddly and fuzzy bears and all that kind of shit. Sometimes women they don't. That's just women. They don't care about the cost. If it's a puppy, save him. Like, man, fuck that puppy. We trying to go. Women be all, oh God, help me. The trees and the bears and hey, let's go. Just like the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy stopping to do all this shit. The Scarecrow's like, come on, shit, we gotta go. Gotta get this witch's broom. What you doing, Dorothy? You're fooling around waiting for Toto. Fuck Toto. We trying to.
So I have a question for you, Nathan.
All right.
Was there ever an issue that was there ever a question that was asked during your debating, when you were debating during your candidacy, that you went home and maybe you guys your wife thought, well, I didn't know that you believed that way, or no, I didn't even know that you thought like that. Was there ever a time when you guys had that discussion when you left a forum where you were debating and you got home and you guys had to have that discussion with you and your wife?
No, because I mean, off the top of the cuff, I mean, I get a little guff from the party itself, right? I'm truly fiscally conservative, without a doubt, but socially, I lean liberal, right? I don't have time to try to manage your bedroom. I'm busy trying to get my stroke right, so I ain't got time to get into a lot of those social things, right? So she understood that that's where I came from, and. But he made a very valid point. Right now, there's a lot of rhetoric in what's going on in the world, right? I mean, if you say the Little Mermaid, right, somebody gonna make a political comment. Like, you can't say anything without somebody, trying to lean right, left, right? So it's just everybody's on pins and needles right now. I just don't understand it. It's like, take a break. It reminds me of a former comedian who said, "You can't be hard all the time, not all the damn time."
Not all the time. It just, man,
you gotta give it a break. I mean,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And as a comic, man, I'm always trying to find I'm trying to find the humor in it all. And sometimes, man, people are so, I mean, and it's not just like politics. It's everything, man. It's everything. It's got people siding on one side of an issue for something. It's like, it's either no, like, this area is, we can make a joke about this and not mean that I hate you. I mean, I can disagree with you and not hate you. I don't want to destroy you. It's like, it's like the Game of Thrones. Now everybody's like, okay, look, I want the iron chair and I kill all of y'all to get it. I'm gonna be on the Iron Throne and I'm gonna kill all of y'all, and I don't care if you got a dragon. I'll blow up my mama. Just like, dude, we can't be there. Because it ends up that inevitably will have the whole house come down. Because you can't make, we can't be all at the extremes, because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And I'm sure, like, you know, I'm sure Nathan, like he said, has had there have been those times where he's like, ooh, I know you're my wife, but ooh,
Oh, no, no,
your little,
no.
your little, your
No,
little,
never,
soft-
never,
your little
never,
love of
ever.
a,
Oh,
your
never,
love of a
ever.
puppy moment. I ain't look, man, because sometimes, man, that's where a lot of,
All I
and
ever
I
do
think,
is smile when it comes to
yeah.
my wife.
Yeah, you gotta drag her into places where she's like, you know what? You know what? Because that's the politics, man. You gotta play both ends against the middle, man. Because you need
That's
everybody to vote. You want everybody to vote for you.
It's true. It's true.
No,
So,
but
to answer your question a little differently, there were moments more where she felt like I can't believe some of the things I'm hearing people say
right.
when I took her to
Right.
certain events and put her in certain rooms. You know, she would come up and be like, "Hey, we need to go," and I'd be like, well, "No, we can't go. We can't go. I
mm,
still got to work this room." She like, "You won't believe what I just heard." I'm like, "Yeah, you gonna have to let that one go. You're gonna just."
mm,
I know, I hear it too, but I got to work the room. You don't have to work the room, right? And you
right.
can't go sit in the car either, right? Because that's just not going to be a good look. So, you know.
You'd have been hearing about that one too. Hey, me up there sitting in the car while you eating chicken and laughing it up with your little good old boys. You'd have
Right.
heard that one all day. That'll come up 10 years from now. Yeah, that was the time Nathan was running for mayor and had me all in the car.
So,
For
so there were a few of those moments where, you know, she was just like, okay, for you, right? I got the for you, because you know this is not. I'm like, I know, I got you, I hear you,
Would you
I
do it
hear you.
again?
People.
That was my next question. I was going to ask him the same. Good question.
So there's a conversation right now about whether I'll run for city council or not. My city council ward is up. That was originally what I was supposed to be running for, and then the gentleman who came to me brought up the mayor candidacy, and that's really what made me say it's my wife's decision, is because the original conversation was, I'm gonna meet with these guys. We're gonna talk about city council position. That'll be 2024. We're in the middle of opening the business for 2022, so there was going to be 2 years before it would we'd even be starting running for office. And then all of a sudden overnight I came home and was like, well, they brought up running for mayor and that starts next week, and I told them it's your call. I took the punk way out. I was like, I told them it was your call, baby. I didn't tell them. Yeah, I told them they had to wait to see what you had to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's interesting.
I'm showing my weak side right here, because it's a factual side. You can't be hard all the time. You got to know when to be soft. Because if I'd have come home hard on that
Sometimes
one, it
you
wouldn't have
gotta
been.
learn sometimes you gotta take your foot off the gas.
Yeah. So, but yes,
Or if you don't, buddy, it's going to be your what? It rhymes with gas.
It's gonna be that ad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No,
Or the
it's a
lack
conversation
thereof.
now.
Or the lack thereof. Yes.
Or the lack thereof, right? Even more important. Even more important.
Even more important.
Yeah, but no, there's a conversation about it right now. It was a very valuable learning lesson. I ran as a bootstrap candidate. Most of the dollars came out of my pocket. Most of the effort, energy, and work came out of me. A lot of things I learned that I know I need if I'm going to run successfully and for things to happen. So right now it's conversations. And if I have a conversation that I believe in my mind creates a clear path, then I've already queued up my wife to say, I'll have a conversation with you then, right? I'm not going to tell you start getting wound up for something that may not happen. And these are the things I'm looking for to come out of these conversations. And so if I feel confident that I can show these things are going to happen, then you and I need to have a conversation on whether or not as a team we want to go run at this again. Never fool yourself. It's always as a team, because
Right.
another thing I learned was there's more I need from her. And that's going to be an even tougher situation, right? Because she's a busy professional as well as helping me run the business. Now she's going to have to do some of these other things that wives of aspiring politicians or politicians have to do. There's certain
Tell her to get her
places.
Michelle Obama on. Tell her to read the book.
But she read
Read
the book. She's a big Obama fan. She's a big Michelle Obama fan. She is.
Oh, Barack Nathan, I see what you're doing, Nathan B. I see what you're doing. You trying to pull off the old slick. I got you. I see you, Nathan. That's that Chicago. That's that Chicago machine in there working. See, he got the mindset. He got the mindset, homie. I just want to know: are you still a Bear fan?
Never was. Never was. I support my home team just because, but I'm not really an NFL fan at all. My sport of choice is college football.
Oh, you're
Saturdays are my days.
Okay, so what school you follow?
I'm a fan.
Are you an Army? Are you an Army dude?
I'm a fan. I always want the Army to win, but I'm a fan of the winningest college football program.
Oh, okay.
Which would be what? Is that Michigan?
Oh,
who is
Fairweather.
Oh, of course it's Michigan. Do I need to pull my flag over? Do I need to get my stadium picture in? Do I need to get the backdrop? Do I need to turn my whole laptop around so you can see it all? Baby?
Well, you know,
Michigan flag is right in front of me.
I was tossed between Ohio State and Michigan. I knew it was one or the other. So
now, see, this was a perfectly good family PG rated show, and you're gonna start cussing.
That's why I went there. I knew it was going to be an issue. Most Michigan fans hate Ohio State, buddy. That's exactly why I said it.
I know.
Why we gotta get foul language on the show? Can we keep it PG for the children? Saying dirty words. Just shameful.
And punch Woody.
Why are you a Michigan fan and you're from Illinois?
So first off, we reside in the great state of Illinois. We reside in the great state of Illinois, but when you're from Chicago, you're not truly from Illinois. You're from Chicago. It just happens to sit in the state. So if you know much about Chicago, we don't have much in the way of college football to embrace. The University of Chicago is a very academic school.
Yeah,
they didn't put a team back together until the 80s, and they're like D3AA. Yeah. I mean, at the lowest level of D3 that you can get. Right. My brother went to Northwestern, so in '79 he graduated. So I used to, through the '70s, watch Northwestern play as the practice squad for the Big Ten. Those games
did your brother play football?
No, he did. No, he did not.
Okay.
No, my brother is a very intelligent man. He was
okay.
He was a chemical engineer, one of a handful of black chemical engineers. That he was the only one that graduated actually that year. But I think there was 2 or 3 that started in the class.
Okay.
But we went to the games, right? So I was a young teenager and we went to the games, and I was like, well, we go to Michigan game, and he was like, no, I ain't got no Michigan ticket money. And he was like, them tickets are hard to get. If Michigan come here, you can see it.
Right. They come here. Exactly.
But the big house, it's 108,000 people.
That's a lot of people in one venue.
It's a lot of people. It's I think it's the 4th largest stadium in the world, actually.
And they sell out. And they sell out every home game.
All the time.
That's crazy.
All the time. But then they got 60, listen, it's gonna be 60,000 people with dang near in there every week because of all the students.
That's right.
So they gotta have enough tickets. They gotta give listen, your little academic fee comes with tickets to all the games for free. So all of them are free. And then and all the students, if it was the same way at Howard, like if you wanted to buy a ticket, your tickets were half price. So students could get cheaper tickets. So you couldn't get none of the good. I mean, we didn't have like box seats and stuff like they do in Ohio and Michigan. We had
you in the student section.
Yeah, you in the student section, but you could get tickets. You could get tickets. The boosters had the good stuff.
They did. They always got
the good stuff.
Right. But you're a young college teenager, right? You're 18, 19 years old. You used to general admission. You used to standing. You ain't used to the nice stuff yet. Usually,
you don't have no clue that you're supposed to have. That you're supposed to go in there like at the Raiders Stadium and have all that food. You don't know about
comfortable seats, your own bathroom. Right.
Yeah, man. I went in the Raiders Stadium. They had lobster, homie. They had lobster one weekend. Where I was like, this place is. I'm gonna have to become a season ticket holder, and I hate the Raiders.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question, Nathan. If
Yes, sir.
if you did become mayor, because there are a lot of issues, man, that are permeating the atmosphere. There's from you know the gender identity politics, the CRT, the what would you think if you said, hey man, this is the issue that I'm gonna stick my flag in to try and change some minds. What was that for you?
So here's what I believe at my core. When people are financially comfortable, they're much less uptight.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're less wound up around. Not to say that they don't believe in their faith, because they do. Not to say they don't believe in their principles, because they do. But they're not as tight about them because they've got other things in life that can allow them to relax for a moment, right?
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
people are financially tight, right? So a good friend of mine, I have a very good friend of mine. We've been like brothers for quite some time. He's from Rome. And I said, yeah, that old stuff they used to teach us, a man is his word is his bond. And all the rich people were always lying, cheating, stealing. They had everything. And we kept talking about handshakes, right? They kept
Right.
talking about contracts. He was like, because brother, when you poor, the only thing you got is your word. So you
Right.
got to hold on to that, because that's all you
Hmm.
got.
Right.
So when you're financially tight, that's when you got to cling to clan, like our kind, our
Hmm.
group, our
Hmm.
people, whatever that means, right?
Hmm.
And not necessarily whether it's a white or black thing. It's our group, right? We the old style drinkers. We have to stick together. We can't mess with them Budweiser drinkers, because
Right.
those people, and Pabst Blue Ribbon, I don't want
Mhm.
them anywhere in our neighborhood, right? So
Right.
people get real tight when financially they're tight. My focus was North Las Vegas is a very, very valuable piece of real estate. And I think the injustice is the focus. Well, number one, it was predominantly where working class and the black folk lived, right? Minority were forced to live on the west side of Las Vegas, which
Mhm.
borders right on the North Las Vegas, and then they trailed into that section of it, right? And then
Mhm.
a lot of it was undeveloped. And so Vegas didn't have Jim Crow laws, but decided that Jim Crow laws worked for them. So
Mhm.
with or without the law, they lived the life. And I
Mhm.
got it for the casinos, because you had Southerners to come gamble, and so you didn't want to risk your money. I never really understood it in the community, but we won't get into that because that's not this show. So North Las Vegas is always seen as a redhead stepchild, because that's where the minorities live, and it is the most minority populous city in the
Mhm.
state.
Mhm.
And I feel like we're behind, and to get ahead, we have to change the way in which we develop. And I don't think the planning is structured around making us more like a Henderson, so to speak, which was a relatively poor community, seen as
Sure.
as a poor hobo type of town. They had great planning. 30 years later, they've completely changed their identity. Private
Right.
airport is down there.
Right.
There's multiple different locations like McDonald Ranch and Green Valley and Seven
Mhm.
Hills and
Mhm.
Anthem, and
Mhm.
we can just go on Inspirada.
Yeah.
I mean, they just continue on building. So when you point to North Las Vegas, you have Aliante, and that's about it, right? And that's
Mhm.
very small, because it came into play right around 2008 when everything collapsed. That was
Right.
supposed to be the third leg of the stool. There was Summerlin, there was Green Valley, and then they were
Mhm.
building Aliante. And then,
Right.
of course, it all kind of came crumbling down. So
Mhm.
you've got an area, in my opinion, that sure we're bringing in business. A lot of it's light industrial warehouse. People are like, they're warehouses. I'm like, yeah, but you can put quality businesses in there. They don't all have to be pick-pack warehouses. They don't all have to be mid-tier level jobs. You can get better
Mhm.
things in there, but none of that matters if your housing makeup doesn't have a balance of variety that's going to attract upper income people to come live in the community. So,
Right.
buddy, you open your business up in North Las Vegas, right? You
Right.
open up your $50 million business in North Las Vegas. You got plenty of money, but you ain't gonna buy a house in North Las Vegas, because first off, the average house size is about 2,350. At the
Right.
big end, you can't even get to 4,000 square foot. You ain't gonna
Right.
buy that house.
Right.
Reggie, you and your wife, y'all are 2 6-figure earners. You're making, let's just say, 250, 300. You want 5,000 square foot house. You want to stretch your budget a little. Nowhere for you to live. So business is flourishing in North Las Vegas without a doubt. I give the last mayor a lot of credit. He turned a lot of ground and a lot of businesses popped up. But they allowed too much change, in my opinion, in the zoning variants for these tract homes to be built. And so now you've got a lot of housing that's built, and the housing is the average in the country is 2,500 square foot. And we're at about 2,315, 2,330. So you're talking working class, lower middle class community. And the problem with that is when the dominoes fall, because they usually do, and they always will, because the economy, like life, goes up and down. And I'm not talking about crashes. I'm just talking about simple ups and downs. Whenever the downs happen, the people who get hit the hardest are the working class people and the lower middle income people. Those are going to be where most foreclosures happen. If you have communities that are more balanced financially, they take less of an impact. And so I don't think the city is balanced properly financially when it comes to their housing mix. And they've allowed so much more new housing to be built that at the top end, we're talking 2,900 square foot. You're not going to get enough people. First, the reputation. Right. Oh, you live in North Las Vegas? Well, this is what people say to me. Oh, you live in North Las Vegas? Why you live out there? You make good money. You can afford to live anywhere. Why you live out? Why don't you live in somewhere? Right? Because it's known as where Black people live. It's known as where crime is at. It's known as where minorities live.
We do value our. We have a tendency to have when there's a minority populace, it's devalued, and that's right.
Right.
So you're saying that the biggest thing for you would have been to change the dynamic of zoning or lending.
The dynamic of attracting better I shouldn't say better home developers. The dynamic of attracting home developers who would put more projects into play that were in the 3,000 to 5,000 square foot range.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Right? We don't have enough of that housing stock. You can't control it as the mayor, as the political figure, but I can have a lot of meetings with Toll Brothers and Richmond Homes and all these home builders, and I can go find some of these specialty home builders, and possibly if there's some city land that we could sell off to a developer with the understanding that you ain't gonna come in here and develop 300 houses, you're gonna come in here and develop 115 or 95, because you're gonna need to build a little bit bigger house, which is going to take up a little more land, which won't let you, build as many. But and trying to make sure that you don't just go, oh, this northwest corner of the city, we're going to make the elite corner. You want to try to weave it in as much as you possibly can, so you don't have pockets of poverty, desperation, economic wealth, and stability. And a little bit you have that right now in North Las Vegas as well. I said to somebody, I live where I live, and they go, oh, you live in Aliante. And I'm like, no, Aliante is about 1.5 miles just north of where I live. And they go, well, close enough, man. You should tell people you live in Aliante. And I'm like, no, I ain't ashamed that I live in North Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's like saying, yeah, man, I live in Culver City. Tell me you live in Beverly Hills. Get out of here with that, man.
Right.
That's hilarious.
So, but it's important, right? To dismiss the fact of how people feel. It's important, right? There's a reason why I live at Ann and Camino El Norte. Yet, if I leave Ann and go down to the next major intersection heading back south, which is Craig Road, once I cross Craig Road, Camino El Norte becomes Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
As we were developing the subdivision north, we had to change that name because, people
from Mexico to Africa. That's hilarious.
I'm through with you. I ain't messing with you, buddy.
Buddy, you said he went
to Casa del Norte. That's hysterical. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord.
Hey, so listen. Buddy, you actually asked Nathan some questions. You took him back to his mayoral role. I love it.
Sorry, man.
We brought him back on. We brought him on to talk about relationships.
My bad.
And his problems. And you took him to his role as you know,
okay,
his candidacy for mayor. It's great.
Yeah, buddy put me back on the campaign trail.
He did. He put you back on the campaign trail. I liked it.
You
Though.
know
I
what?
loved it. I loved it.
That was a relationship question. It was his relationship with the community. So go ahead,
With the
ask
community.
me a little relationship question, Reggie.
No. I loved it, buddy. I thought it was great. You know, we got a chance to really let him tap into his passion because it started to come out, you know, and we was
Yeah,
talking
I'll
about.
tell you what, I bet he don't talk like this at home. Because his wife would be like,
No,
"Don't you
no.
bring up
Well,
that
yeah,
doggone
well,
man that you bet
Well, I
not."
do, and then she reminds me that you know I know this, right? I heard you say this many times. I know, right? Yes, babe. I know. I've heard it, and that's when
Hey,
I'm like,
man,
oh, okay.
and you know what's the problem with folks, man? I know if you would have been the mayor, there would have been one. You would have had one cousin to say, "Hey, look here, Nathan. I'm trying to open a casino. Look here, bro. It's gonna be a casino, part bunny ranch. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it Casino de Pale.
You think,
Gamble
hey, buddy,
that
listen,
ass. It's gonna be
you
the
think
gamble that ass.
you think you can give us some land? You think you could probably give us about 5 acres of land?
Yeah, you think you can get us one of those COVID loans? You know they're giving out their money, man.
Man, you
Too
much.
funny.
You too much.
Hey, so Nathan, I'm so glad you took the time out. I'm gonna tell you how special you were for Buddy and I. You know, we normally take TikTok commercial breaks. We didn't even take TikTok commercial
What?
breaks for you. We
Man,
went
how y'all
straight
gonna pay
through
the
with you.
bills? You gotta pay. Look, I told you, them
Listen,
columns gotta add
we
up.
went straight through with you, Nathan, because
Look
we
here,
wanted to hear
Nathan.
you
I
out,
tell you
man.
how we gonna pay the bills. Look here, man. I'm trying to get some of that development land. That developmental land. You got a business, right? How I get one of those business loans?
Yeah.
Look, you ran for the mayor. Maybe you got some connections. That's how we gonna get paid.
Maybe
You know?
you got some of
That's
those
it. That's it.
political things. You might have some of them political refunds in your wallet.
Oh my God. Yeah, so as you can see, this is what we do, Nathan. Buddy is the comic. I'm the coach. We just have a lot of fun. You get the serious and you get the funny. We have a lot of fun. And so, you know, for us today, this was a special show bringing you on and got to talk some
appreciate
politics, made a lot, you know, we made it where it was a lot of fun as well. So our audience gets to be entertained as well as enlightened. And so we've informed them as well.
Yeah, we're gonna need some of them campaign funds shipped to see Reggie Rogers. No. I'm sorry, Nathan. I'm sorry.
No
my
worries.
God.
No worries.
So listen, we got to wrap this show up, but there is a segment that we do every week, Nathan, and it has become a fan favorite. We try to pull words down that are trending, but all the words that we pull, they have to do with relationships. And so I'll give a word,
Oh, let me sit up.
and
Let me sit up.
Buddy gives us his own interpretation, his own definition of what he thinks that word means. So we're gonna let you play this game with us, Nathan. And so I'm gonna give a word, and I'm gonna try to.
I'm good at this, Nathan.
I'm gonna try to give words that would relate to what you do in politics as a business owner, but yet we're going to tie it into relationships as well. Okay. So the first word I want to throw out there for both of you is sidebarring. Sidebarring.
I know exactly what this is, man.
That's a legal term, right?
It's legal.
No, not really. Let me tell you what this is.
Sidebarring. That's where you talk about it on the side instead of in public, I guess.
That's good, Nathan. But I'm gonna tell you what this is.
Tell us, buddy.
This is that local lounge where you take your side pieces. It's the sidebar. So you look, you tell everybody you're going to, I'm going downtown to the thing, but you really going to the sidebar and you have your side piece meet you there. That's I know this one. So go ahead.
It's a good
That's
thing
a
I
good
didn't know that one.
It's just really when you're out with your girl, your date, and you spend more time engaging on your phone than you do with your date.
Oh, oh,
Sidebarring. Okay. You know what? I never would have got that. I was thinking also it could have been, this is my other thing. It could have been what you use to chase side pieces away. It's a bar, but you chase them away with a sidebar. It's like a crowbar, but it's a side piece bar. They just took the piece out of it, so it's a sidebar. But okay, I'll accept the fact that it's what you say, Reg.
All right, I like it. I got one more. I got one more word for you guys.
Okay.
Fast forwarding.
Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna let
fast
you take a shot this night.
forwarding. I'm assuming it's where you skip through the parts of the conversation you don't want to hear.
That's good,
Mm.
Nathan. That's
Now
good.
that's pretty good, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what this is. This right here, fast forwarding, okay? That is when you have these little fresh little ass girls wearing them little hot ass outfits. You know, and they be in them little dance competitions. They fast and they projecting forward and on what they're gonna be later in life. They little nasty little dancing girls, and they have them little competitions. You know, you got to stop that. You got to nip that in the bud when you fast forward and you these children, they have them all dressed up with lipstick and makeup and stuff, and you can't do that. You can't be fast forward.
All right.
That's what you believe it is?
Yeah,
That's your final answer?
that's my final
Both
answer.
both of you gave really good answers, but it really just refers to a relationship moving at a rapid speed.
Mm.
Oh,
And it is a speedy route to a heartbreak.
Mm.
oh,
Mm. Mm.
okay.
Yeah, I've been there. I done fast
Fast
forward.
forwarding.
Listen,
Oh
you
my
know what? I've had some, you know, I've been fast too. That because you know sometimes you're quick. You know, you quick on the draw. You know, so sometimes
And she
you know
looked at you and
you in
said,
there.
"That's
You
it."
get
She looked at you and said, "That's it?
yeah. That
That's it?"
hey, that's also called the 2 minute man.
God.
You, you were fast and you was forward.
You was fast,
You was
fast
fast.
and forward.
You was fast and
Woo.
forward. She didn't get none of it. It's like, hey, this it? This I done wasted
That's
all the
all?
time and that's it, dude. Yeah, I've been there. I fast forwarded a couple of times in my life.
Nathan, tell people, listen, I know you got a business now. We're coming to an end, and I want people to be able, when they come to Vegas, I want people to find you, even the people that are in Vegas. Let them know how they can find you, come spend some time with you, come spend some money with you as well. You got a thriving business. Let people know what you got going on in Vegas.
Absolutely. So we run an IV vitamin wellness center, and by that, that means that we keep people healthy with natural means, vitamins, minerals, aminos. Real simple, real easy. Yes, it's an IV. I've been asked before, does that mean you're gonna stick a needle in my vein? I'm like, unless you figured out another way to get an IV, it's the only way we know how to do it. So we have registered nurses who take care of you. The reason why you do things like this is you have to think about it in simple terms. If it hits your bloodstream, it gets to your cells faster. The faster the vitamins get to your cells, the more impact it gives you. That's why it's so effective. It's not something you do daily, but it is something that people do monthly, bi-monthly, sometimes even weekly if they're having some issues. But generally, monthly to bi-monthly is when they do it. We're located just west of the Palms Casino. And by that, I mean walking distance. We get plenty of clients from the Palms that'll walk down. It's about a 10-minute walk. So you're talking less than a half a mile. We're right there on West Flamingo, 4579 West Flamingo Road. Fastest way to find out about us is real simple. ivlasvegas.com. Our website is ivlasvegas.com. Everything's on there. You can watch videos to see what a process is like. You can see videos, about when we were on TV and how we did the whole thing with the on-air talent and did their vitamin D testing. Whole bunch of stuff that's out there. We're very fortunate. Sam Webb, hey, my man, cornerback for the Las Vegas Raiders, gets his hydration at the DRIPBaR right here in Las Vegas. So we are proud to be able to say that.
There you go.
And the last show we did, we actually had our guest was a linebacker from
Levon
the
Kirkland.
Levon Kirkland. Our last show was
Oh wow.
with him, and he's a linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So
Yeah.
and so we had commercial breaks with him. So that's how special you are. We took breaks with Levon. We
I
didn't do that with
appreciate it.
you. So anyway, Nathan, thank you for hanging out with us. Buddy and I are going to bring this show to a close.
Yes, man.
Bring you back. We're gonna put you
I'm
back
gonna
into our
come
green
get
room.
me
What you want
some
to say, buddy?
vitamins. I'm gonna come
Anytime,
get me
brother.
some
Come on
liquid
down.
vitamins. All right, yeah, I'm come on out there. You got anything called like mushrooms for the tool? You got anything that's gonna help me? Because every now when you come to Vegas, you need to. Sometimes you're doing some things in Vegas and you need a vitamin or two. I just want to make sure because I don't want to go get that liquor store vitamins because they got the names in there that'll mess you up, Nathan. You can't get no devil's dick. You see that stuff in the I don't want you to have no Satan schlong. You're gonna hurt somebody. So I just want to make sure the vitamins are
Listen,
safe.
we got vitality for you. So we have
Okay,
a vitality IV
I'm
strictly for
coming
that
and give me
blood
some
flow.
vitality. All right, because I don't want. I'm tired of going to the back door. Give me 4 Cialises, please.
We got you.
All right, vitality on a stick.
Nathan, thank you again, man. We're gonna send you out, but we appreciate you spending some time with us.
Hey man, I appreciate you, brothers. Take care.
Hey,
All right,
Nathan, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Hey, man, when I come to Vegas, I'm stopping by, man. I'm come by and give me some vitality.
I'm
for
looking
sure.
forward to it.
I'm in Vegas a lot.
Good.
All right, man.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
We'll see you.
All right,
Appreciate you.
bye.
All right.
So, buddy, that was fun. That was a lot
great,
of fun
man.
hanging out with Nathan.
Hanging out with hey, man, he was almost mayor, man. Shoot, man, you never know, man. Listen, I'd say go to council and then work your way up. That's right. Next thing you know, we're gonna have another brother be a senator or something in Nevada. So I'm looking forward to it. Barack Obama, number 2, Nathan.
Listen, buddy, what you got going on? I know you got a lot happening. You're coming out in 2 movies, right? What you got going on?
A couple of movies coming out later on. I got another movie coming out too. Something about Christmas. It's a Christmas movie that's going to be on. I think it's going to be on Netflix. So I got a few things in the mix, man. So I'm gonna keep it going. I might be shooting my own. I might be shooting my own short movie about a comic's life called Funny Is What Funny Does. So I'm shooting that probably in July, but I got a few things going on, man. Trying to stay busy.
Do I got a role in that or what?
Hey, man, listen, I might have something for you, Reg. I might have something for you. You might have to come to LA.
Tell them about the movie that you guys filmed in Vegas on the Strip.
Big things, man. Back on the Strip, which was shot in Vegas.
Right.
My friend Chris Spencer's movie will be out in August in the theaters. So please go check that out. And my movie LA Kings is coming out this next Saturday. Is the premiere, and it'll probably be out on the streaming sites or something. So it's gonna be cool.
Awesome, awesome.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know for sure, Reg. Maybe you can come down for the premiere, man.
I'd love to.
All right.
Just give me the word. I'm there. So
Reg, I just want to do one thing, man. Give these people some advice, man. Every now and then you drop a little dime on them. Drop a dime on these people about how to carry on a relationship when your spouse or your partner is doing something something new, something unexpected. They throw a monkey wrench like going into politics or going back to college or something, moving to a new town for a new job. Tell people give them some advice on how to work that.
Yeah, I think that's very important that, there's a science to life, there's a science to living, but just like there's a science to life and living, there's also a science to relationships. And I think what you have to realize as a couple is once you develop a rhythm, that becomes the natural rhythm of the relationship. Once you understand that natural rhythm, when you delve into something that has the potential to break that natural rhythm, then what Nathan said, which was extremely important, there has to be constant communication, constant conversing. Why? Because communication just simply means that if we're delving into something that has the potential to break the natural rhythm, then we have to get back that union. What is the common union now? Is there going to be another common union that we have to go start looking forward and looking to? So communication just simply comes from the word communique or communion. And so when you understand communion comes from the word common union. So that's why there has to be constant communication, because that's the common union. It's all about staying centered. That's why I love what Nathan said. Staying centered, understanding the common union, and being on the same page. So we constantly create that natural rhythm. That's the science to living. That's the science to life. That's the science to relationships, understanding that natural rhythm. And so that's what I would say. Common union, constant communication, constantly conversing, and that keeps everybody on the same page.
There you go. That's some good advice, Reg. I ain't doing none of that, but it's good. I'll mess with it.
Hey, buddy, let me tell you something funny.
Do.
Let me tell you something funny. I have never done this in all of my career. You know what I did Monday?
What'd you do, Reg?
I've never done this in all of my career. I was supposed to speak at an event Monday. I didn't even show up.
What?
Totally had it on my calendar. I got a new phone and it didn't transfer over on my new phone.
You missed it?
So I'm doing a series. I'm every Monday in June, I'm doing a series. I'm supposed to be at this event every Monday in June, and I missed the first Monday. I've never done that in my career.
Wow. Well, the people showed up and everything. Were they there?
So what? Yes. So what happened was they were calling me, and you know when you don't know a number, I don't pick up a number that I don't know. So they were calling me. I didn't know the number. I didn't pick up. So Tuesday, I said, let me check my voice messages. I check my voice messages. I hear the woman in panic saying, "Where are you? You're supposed to be here. The people are here, blah, blah, blah." So I called them on Tuesday. I explained the whole situation. So what they decided to do, it's a series. I'm there every Monday for the whole month of June. So what they decided to do was extend. So next Monday, I've got to work an extra 30 minutes. They extended it so that the people aren't missing, because the people, they bought tickets for this in advance. And so they only had so many seats they wanted to sell. So that I've never done that in my career, dude. Ever.
Wow. Hey, man. Well, it happens every now and then. Sometimes you blow a gasket, Reggie, and listen, man, I've missed some dates and gigs, and hey, man, it happens. You know what, man? You're gonna be all right. Listen, what you got to do is stop drinking on Sunday, Reg. You got to cut the alcohol out, cut the marijuana out, cut all the stuff out,
buddy. So no, what's happening is, my manager is just so I have a tendency, and I'm sure you do it as well. I have a tendency to take stuff, and I take the onus on some of my stuff without sending everything through my manager.
Right.
And I'm sure you do the same. So moving forward, as my calendar is filling up, I'm just sending everything now through my manager, everything so she keeps me on point.
So she can, because you need sometimes you need an assistant, because your mind will when you got a whole bunch of stuff on your mind, think something will suffer every now and then. And I get it. I've been there. I have been there, Reg. I've been there. So hey, man, but listen, don't miss no more, because you ain't gonna call me telling me you got fired.
I'm on it. No. I don't. That's the last thing I need to have is a bad reputation. I got a great reputation. So hey, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte. I'm coming back.
Nice.
I start the last Wednesday in June. Every Wednesday, Reggie's Recess, real talk, real relationships. So I'm coming back to 87.9 Heat FM Charlotte every Wednesday night. The general manager called and told me, "Hey, Reg, it's time for you to come back home. We need you to come back home." So I'm coming back.
Now that you said it, Reg, you won't miss none, because that's every Wednesday.
Yeah, right. Hey, man, this was a fun show, buddy. And you got to come hang out with me on 87.9 for sure.
Done, son.
For sure. The coach and the comic. I'm the coach, C. Reggie Rogers.
And I am the
Buddy Lewis. Hey, listen, you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends, like and subscribe. Make sure you do that. And we've got to go. We'll see you on our next show. You guys have
Hey, yeah, hey, bye, Steven.
Oh, Steven, have fun on your vacation. That's right. Steven's getting ready to go on vacation for a whole half a month.
Yeah,
so
I heard
Steven,
he going to hedonism, right? That's where he going down there, nasty. He gonna be walking around butt naked in a tunic.
yeah, he going
What
to a
he
new
gonna be
going
doing?
to a new beach. Steve,
Cover up,
Action Shot
Steven.
Productions, our guy.
I've seen
Steven's
you in
about to go have some
clothes.
fun.
Cover up, Steven. I've seen you in clothes. Cover up. And don't wear no open-toed sandals. Your feet are hideous.
Listen. Oh my God. You so crazy, buddy. He said his feet is hideous. All right, we gotta go, man. You guys have a good rest of the week, rest of the day. We'll see you next time.
Coach in the comments.